Hi YouTube and welcome back to Tamara's Tarot Oracle channel. Today I would like to do a review on my latest tarot deck that in fact just arrived yesterday. And without much further ado, ta-da! It's the Golden Tarot of Klimt. Klimt is one of my favorite artists. In fact, I have a few of his pieces upstairs. It's just very elegant and quite stunning, really. It's a deck that is by Lo Scarabeo, as you can see right there. And it came out in, I believe, 2013, so it's been around for a while. I actually had this deck in my hands, and it just didn't feel right at the time, so I left it. And then a couple days ago, I had this strong urge wash over me, and I knew I just had to have it. And so I ordered it online, and it was one of those, you know, get it the next day, free shipping. So I was really excited about that. The box, unfortunately, was a little bit beaten up when it arrived, and sometimes that just happens. It's hit or miss. Seldom are they in, you know, immaculate condition. So what I did was I ended up taking a black Sharpie marker and I just touched up the sides. There was a big rip in it, and I just taped it inside. And anyway, I made it look pretty good. Just etched everything in black. So that's the back, the kiss. It's one of my favorite Klimt paintings. And that's one side. I love the way the horses are depicted in this deck. Look at the armor and oh, it's just so beautiful. It's the other side. Well, the front of the box, which I just showed you. And then, yeah, the other side. And I just blacked out the barcode. And this is, yep. And when we open it, a nice little additive, Gustav Klimt. Oops, as you can see in the inside flaps. I ended up coloring the inside of the lid and flaps black. There's a little bit of wear, like it was just a little torn and scuffed up, so I thought I'd make it look a little bit more polished. Inside are just two of the advertisement cards. This one just shows other cards like this with the gold foil in the series. So you can find them at loscarabeo.com. It's the Nefertari's Tarot and the Golden Tarot of Botticelli, as well as the Visconti Tarot. So there's actually 3 other decks. I didn't know about the last one. And I might be inclined to get another one, but I really need to stop buying tarot decks. Anyone who knows me knows that it's been a bit of an obsession of late. So the back of the cards look like that. So they are reversible. I personally don't read reversals, but that is offered if one does. And then the other card is just the title cover, and it showcases the different languages that Lo Scarabeo decks are known for. So Italian and Spanish and Dutch, and I'm not sure. I'd have to check the little white book that accompanies each and every Lo Scarabeo deck. So it's just your standard little white book. So the Art Tarot collection edited by Pietro Aligo. Diffusion and marketing, okay, doesn't matter, all rights reserved. So the artist artwork by Atanas A. Atanasov. Atanasov? I hope I said that right. So this artist was inspired by Klimt's masterpieces, and so he created this gorgeous, gorgeous deck. It's just a very elegant deck. It's really the best word to use to describe this particular tarot deck. So inside is one spread that you can use. It goes into a little bit of detail explaining how to use it. And really it's just a few pages in English, and the rest are in other various languages. Let's see. So about the first 12 pages are, well, including the cover, that's 12. So yeah, like maybe 10 or 11 pages that are for, you know, in the English. So it goes from the introduction to Tarot of Klimt. It just gives you a little bit of a synopsis or, yeah. And then the major arcana. So it's just bold-faced, each major arcana, and then, 1 or 2 lines for both upright and reversed, just keywords that basically embody the meaning of that particular card. And then minor arcana, so cups or chalices in this deck, pentacles, wands, and swords. And then the one spread that I showed to you on the inside of the front cover. So yeah, it doesn't really go into too much depth or detail. If you have a pretty good understanding of each of the meanings, then it should be fine. But it wouldn't be like your be all and end all, like your go-to. But what's nice is that because this deck has its own theme, there are the way certain meanings are depicted, it gives a little bit of just a little bit more flavor to what I thought the meanings to be. So, it just kind of adds those little nuances and layers and makes it a little bit more full bodied and just, adds to your knowledge of what that card symbolizes. So it's great to take what they say in the book because it does represent the deck that it was created for quite beautifully, but it's also great to take your own understanding and then all that, and just kind of mix it all together. And it's just a really nice way of giving it a better, more in-depth reading. Okay, so let's get to the deck. So I normally do keep things or decks in their original boxes, but I don't really want to have this go through so much wear and tear because it's quite pretty. Like it is your average, tuck box, and it's not the greatest quality. I do believe that the pocket size of the same deck comes in a durable, sturdy box, I guess because it's meant for, being lugged around. This, I guess, is not so much intended for that. But yeah, I just keep it in this little chiffon bag. This was actually given to me as part of a gift with a little bar of soap inside, and I thought this would be perfect for this deck. And it's black, which I thought, oh my gosh, it couldn't be better. So I'll take my cards out. So last night I spent some time edging them one by one. So that was quite time consuming, but well worth it because look at that. I mean, look at those black edges. It turned out beautifully. And when you fan them out, I mean, look at that. Well, the back it doesn't, but when you fan it out, look at that. Look how pretty that looks. Oh my God. I like pretty things. Yeah, this deck is a work of art. There's no question. And each card is just its own masterpiece. There you go. I'll just show you quickly a few of the cards. In fact, I'll show you some of my favorite ones because I don't have a ton of time to go through each and every one. The Knight of Swords. I love the way the horses are drawn or painted. Oh, I just love it. Look at the gold foil. You can see the light reflecting off it. Very pretty. Oh, this is my favorite star card. Look at that. There is some nudity. I should have mentioned that. Very tastefully done. Yeah, I love women in art. I just think women in art are it's beautiful. And I'm really drawn to people decks, especially when they're more up close and you can really see the expression on their faces. And yeah, I just find that really appealing. Let's see, the Queen of Swords. Really pretty. I like the flowers in the background. I love the gold foil. It just adds such a nice touch. Okay. There is a movie called The Woman in Gold. I need to see it. It's on Netflix now, I believe. And it's based on this painting, this portrait, and on a true story, in fact, that took place, I think, in and around, well, I guess the beginning of the 19th century when Klimt was in his day. I think it takes place, the movie, maybe during World War II, and Helen Mirren is the main actress in it. And it's her aunt, like her character's aunt in the film, who was the lady in this portrait. So I need to see that, and then I can explain it better. It's really pretty. That's the Wheel of Fortune card, by the way. Very pretty. Gorgeous. When I first opened this deck yesterday and I asked, like, what kind of working relationship did you see between us? The Ace of Swords kind of just not flew out of the deck, but it kind of pushed its way out. It was quite forceful, and it made sense, being this is the card that turned up. It's about, you know, cutting through all the bullshit and basically just getting right down to the heart of the matter, the truth of the matter, and, you know, coming up triumphant and victorious, and with force, with power, with mental precision and mental clarity. And so it's just a very strong, very, you know, like in your face, gonna say it like it is kind of card. So I know this card to be like triumph and power. So it's all that sort of unlimited mental potential, like being able to foresee challenges ahead, but having the strength to cut right through them and to, you know, triumph over them, basically. So I thought it was a really fortuitous card to get when I asked that question. I just felt instantly connected to this deck, so I feel like, yeah, this just made sense to me. Not a huge fan of the emaciated bodies that I'll show you a few examples of, which I know was part of Klimt's style. In fact, they're all very, well, no, not all. There are some larger figures. It's quite controversial back in that time, especially, you know, I think he got a group together and he kind of just wanted to stick it to him, you know, like all those contemporaries, like all the people that, you know, were conventional and set in their ways and kind of, you know, shun anyone who thought outside the box. And I'm all about thinking outside the box. So it would have been really cool to be around in that time and sort of follow the movement and everything. And it's like a lot like the pre-Raphaelites, you know, they're just a bunch of these really talented, really intelligent, like intellectual guys and, you know, philosophers and art students and everything like that. And they kind of just got together and they're like, you know what, screw that. We're going to do our own thing and we're going to show everybody what we're about. And we're going to have nudity and we're going to have, like, you know, things that might go against the church and all that kind of stuff. And they really did push the envelope for, you know, art as we know it today. This is so beautiful. This is the Seven of Swords. So yeah, you know, I mean, like, forget the fact that they had, you know, nudity in his art, but he had, you know, pregnant women and he had I wouldn't say overweight, like larger, full figured, you know, females and full frontal male. Like, it was just everything that you're not supposed to do, you know, is all very frowned upon back then, especially. And this is the Seven of Swords. So this is somebody's harping a secret. And the secret, it will come out, it will be known, it will be found out. But it's about someone deceiving you or maybe deceiving yourself, or it's a very interesting card, actually. Very pretty. Oh gosh, the Four of Swords, coming out of a time of turmoil and just having a rest and regeneration and even meditation and kind of just finding that inner peace. Really pretty. This is probably my favorite Chariot card. A woman instead of a man in all her glory, which is great. She's confident. This interpretation was like, it's a very sensual card, and that doesn't really go with my understanding of the Chariot. It's more like determination, willpower, perseverance, you know, things are in motion, things are happening, kind of getting everything going in the direction you want them to go in. And I guess with confidence, you know, comes that power, that feeling of empowerment, that feeling of, you know, you feel desirable, you feel all these wonderful things that women should feel. It's nice to feel those things. So when we feel like we're on top of the world, like we have, you know, the strength and all that, it's just a really nice coming full circle way of feeling. So it's nice that, you know, there's definitely like a more sensual vibe throughout this deck. And that certainly is touched on in the meanings of the cards. Oh, I love the way this horse's armor. Look at that. So pretty. Yeah. Okay. Oh gosh, I love that. It's not a harp. It's ooh, is it? It's kind of harp. It's like a not a lute. God, I can't think right now. It's really pretty. It's 3 of Pentacles. It's about work. It's about immersing yourself in work and paying attention to detail and enjoying what you do and being recognized for what you do and acknowledged for what you do. And perhaps even doing it, you know, as a team effort and seeing, you know, the product of your work take shape, take form. Okay, let me just see. And an example, as I just mentioned, a pregnant woman. So that was like, oh, you know, everybody was just outraged. She looks a bit like Susan Sarandon. So this is an older woman who represents the World card. So, you know, coming full circle. And I like that it's a little bit of an older woman, not like just more mature than some of the figures, the young females throughout the deck. Right? She's aged a bit more because she's experienced. She's traveled through her journey and she's just full of new life. Oh, I love this one. This is the 5 of Swords. This is about defeat. This is about accepting defeat because you can't win them all and not going about trying to be victorious in an underhanded way that, whereas the 7 of Swords is more behind someone's back and it was a bit more devious and deceitful and that kind of thing. This is more like people can see that you're being, you know, you're not playing fairly. So you don't want to have to, you know, winning at all costs. Like there is a price. And so sometimes it's better just to walk away and accept defeat and you know, fight another day. Maybe that today wasn't your day. And this is a slightly different, like based on the illustration. I wonder what they say exactly for this one. 5 of Swords. 5 of Swords. Okay. Oh, we are no longer in English. Okay. Future revenge, achievement of a target, emotional gratification. Okay, so maybe not winning, you might feel kind of vengeful and you know, vindictive or yeah. You definitely have a target in sight. You definitely have a goal. You definitely, you know, if you're willing to attain that at any cost, then you're going to have to, you know, accept consequence and that people may not receive you in the same way. Yeah, so emotional gratification, I mean, yes and no, it depends how you went about attaining that goal. And if you had to step over people to do it, then, you know, was it really worth it? Because it may just be a short-lived victory. And in the end, you know, when you kind of stand back and assess things, you know, it's one of those like, oh, in hindsight now I see that I shouldn't have, and I, you know, you learn from that. So if nothing else, hopefully you take away a lesson. Okay, I want to end this video. Oh, this is one of the emaciated bodies I was referring to. Yeah, it's the Hermit. Well, he's in deep introspection. So I definitely see that in that card. This is, I believe, Gustav Klimt self-portrait. He's the Hierophant. He's like the teacher. Hierophant is the teacher. He comes around and he enforces our morals and values, our belief system, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be a religious faith or anything like that. It could just be, you know, one is spiritual and whichever system, you know, that works for you. I know the more traditional decks are like they're popes and it's about the church and everything, but you know, this is a more modern take, so it's really it really just hones in on the value system and the belief system that you choose to have. Okay, just show you a couple more. You know what's funny? I don't ever like the devil card, but I actually find this one kind of cute. Like it's not, yeah, like I find death and the devil, like I know that's like those typical cards that, and it's not that I don't know what they mean and that, but it just the depictions. I just don't mind this devil, which I've never actually said before about any deck. And you get that feeling of the Eight of Swords where she's just so, you know, beside herself. She's just, whether she's guilt-ridden or she's just full of, you know, indecision and doesn't know how to get out of her own space or her own situation because she's so, you know, indecisive and unable to see the forest for the trees, so to speak. Just overwrought with this worry and fear and thinking there's no way out, and there's always a way out. We just can't always see it. Ooh, my favorite, the kiss. Very beautiful. Look at that. Look at that gold foil. So nice. Oh, the Nine of Wands, defending your territory. Okay, I know I keep saying I've done this video, but they're so pretty. Two of Cups, this deep and yielding unity and bond. I love that. He's protecting her. Oh, here's a lady. So images like that were quite controversial back then. Okay. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, how could I not show you this? This is my favorite moon card ever. Look at all the different moons. So pretty. Yay. Okay, I'll have to end it on that note because I'm going way too long. But thank you so much for watching. This is the Golden Tarot of Klimt. I highly recommend it. If you find that this style of art appeals to you, it's just a lovely, lovely addition, you know, to any and every tarot collector's collection. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Again, this is Tamara's Tarot Oracle, and I will speak to everyone very soon. Okay, bye.